Have you ever got a phone call from someone posing as a representative from a legitimate entity, asking you for your personal information, or worse, telling you that your bank account has been compromised and they need your credentials? Maybe it was a text message or an email trying to direct you to a malicious website. Either way, these situations have one thing in common. They are all social engineering tactics. According to the latest statistics, a staggering 97% of malware targets users through social engineering, making it one of the most effective and efficient attack methods used to initiate and enable attacks. If you want to know more about social engineering, join us for this episode of TechTalk. We've invited Christina Lekati, social engineering trainer and consultant at CyberRisk, to tell us all about it. So, let's jump right into it.
Welcome to a new episode of Tech Talk. This is episode 6, and the season, Carla, welcome is?
Number 5.
Number 5 already. I always say that, but really, it's incredible. We got to the fifth. I'm sorry. Well, as you may know, in October, Luxembourg celebrates the Cybersecurity Month, and we also celebrate the Cybersecurity and Privacy Days here at PwC Luxembourg. So today's episode is dedicated to one very interesting and necessary topic called...
The one on social engineering.
The one on social engineering. When I read that first time, I thought, what? So are they building something with people? Or, I was absolutely, I didn't know what it meant. But that's why today we have one of the European experts in the field, whose name is, Carla?
Christina Lekati. Is that correctly pronounced?
That's absolutely correct, Christina Lekati. Well done, Carla.
Thank you.
We didn't practice that before.
Kalispera.
Isn't that more for late at night?
It's actually perfect for right now. We are recording this during the afternoon.
Okay.
So it should be Kalimera?
Mm-hmm. No. That's for the morning.
Okay, so Kalispera is also for the afternoon.
You are getting there. It's not bad. I have to give you that.
So as you may imagine already, Christina comes from Greece, although she lives in Germany. Is
That's
it right?
Correct.
Right next to Luxembourg, but on the other side of Germany, like I said before.
And she's a social engineering trainer and consultant at CyberRisk.
Exactly. And another fun fact, CyberRisk is actually located in Switzerland, so yes, we move around a lot.
Okay. Let's say Central Europe is your area of...
Exactly. Central Europe, Asia, and the USA by now, but you were very right when you said, she's in Europe.
Okay, perfect. So let's kick the episode off.
Yes.
I asked the first this time.
Yes, because you were wondering...
Yes, so let's really, it's a silly one, but what is social engineering indeed? It is like the metaverse.
The metaverse.
It's Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse with all is connected. What is really social engineering?
Oh my goodness.
I didn't know about metaverse
I don't know how to be polite about this, but no. I'm kidding. Social engineering is a method of hacking, but it's a method of hacking and breaching cybersecurity through its people, through the people that use it. So you don't look for technical ways to brute force the password field. You don't mess that much with the technical aspects of cybersecurity when you can just have a person that has access to the credentials that you want or to the systems that you want, hand them over to you and basically open the doors for you. You don't have to lockpick a hard door, a hard lock. You just need to get the right person, use the right story to get them to open it for you. And that's what social engineering is.
So it's a scheme.
So it's like manipulating people's minds?
So now I can be polite and tell you, yes, that's absolutely correct. It is heavily based on psychology and manipulation techniques. It's not exactly a kind game. It's very nasty. It's very unfair.
Yeah.
But because it works, they keep using it.
Exactly.
And Christina, is there any particular segment, age-wise, that is more attacked? Like, I don't know, is the youngsters, is the people between 60, 50 and 60, or is everyone?
So that's a good question, and I would say it depends on the attacker, and it depends who they target. If you target individuals, if the attacker is doing more of a B2C business, they just look for good individuals to get information from or to steal money from, then yes, they are going to look for the random population, and they do target older people or people that generally don't know much about cybersecurity and about what privacy means and about how important their data is. But the big issue today comes with companies and with governments and with espionage and this side of the world, let's say. And in this case, this is where you get the very big breaches, the very big cases of social engineering, and they target anyone. They target anyone that can provide them access. As long as they have a good story.
Exactly. I was just going to say that I think if you have a really good story and if you probably already have some information that, this person might think, okay, he has information about me, so
you trust the person.
Exactly.
Kind of, yeah. Okay.
Like, where did he get this information, or he or she?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And guess what? They have a whole lot of information because we live in the world of the internet and social media.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's quite scary. So how did you decide to work in this field, actually?
In a sense, I was born into this field because of my dad, who has been working in cybersecurity. He had a more technical role, and later on he focused on risk management. However, he was always an amazing teacher and storyteller. So as I was a kid and my siblings, he used to sit us around in the sense of, I have a story to tell you and something really cool to show you. And he would show us how security works, how hacking is working, how you can twist the systems to do something different. And I discovered that I had a really big interest in this whole topic. So he started involving me more and more in what he was doing. We did the open bar of books when Amazon came out. He would allow us to buy as many as we want and read them as long as it was something educational. And my first books were exactly on profiling people. Somehow I had a very big interest on how the human works and how they were getting convinced to breach security without even realizing they were doing so, or disclosing information without even realizing they were doing so. And I started looking into it. He encouraged me to move further into the field, to learn more. He taught me more. And then I also studied psychology because I wanted to know how it all
total
works.
Sense. Exactly.
But you have mentioned psychology and how people act several times. So it means cybersecurity today is linked a lot to behaviors. It's behavioral. It's not only because I think most people out there, I hope I am wrong, but they think cybersecurity is pretty much technical. I mean, it's...
You're absolutely right. Unfortunately, you're absolutely right. But unfortunately for now, although there is a basis to that mentality, it started as computer security. You just had to make sure the machine was secure. Then when we got the internet, it developed into network security along with computer security. So it expanded a bit. It was purely technical. But today we have cybersecurity, and it doesn't only involve the machine and the network, but also the user who has access to the systems, who has access to the technology, who has to handle credential, who does handle information, digital or physical information. And now they are part of this. So, yes, it started as a technical field, but now it has expanded.
Yeah. And I think it's more and more and more. We have everything going connected now.
Absolutely.
Imagine if I don't know, a driverless car is hacked one day. You remember this movie, Train? No, it's a movie that is hacked. A movie, I'm sorry, a train that is hacked. Not the movie. And it's I think a Japanese movie, but the guy has to die to save the people, and someone hacks. Yeah, it's not nice, but it's a train that is hacked. It's
makes sense. You can.
It's terrorist people behind.
I don't know if that's feasible. Can can
You can hack a smart car. You can hack anything that is
Connected.
that is connected. Yes, anything that
connected, yes.
surely you can. And I don't think I will be buying a smart car anytime soon because the systems are very complex and there are many points of entry. And they are interconnected. Their systems are interconnected. So if you just get one point of entry from that whole system, you can escalate.
Yeah.
Can be very dangerous.
Yes.
Please don't get us wrong. We are not against anything related to the Internet of Things. We are just careful.
Yes, I think that's always the message. It's going to come. It's coming. We already use smart devices, but we have to adapt with how sophisticated attacks have become and protect ourselves.
That's true.
Madam,
Things become more complex.
Oh, I'm
though.
sorry. Madam you were reflecting,
I was
deeply.
reflecting.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
I just interrupted your
all these
reflective
things
moment.
are supposed to make our lives easier, but if you think about it at the same time, they are very complicated and they can bring us a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's life, huh?
Yes. Okay, so I'll jump to the next question. Can you give us some examples of social engineering schemes and maybe what are those who are most commonly used?
Usually there are three main vectors of social engineering attacks. One of them has to do with malicious emails that appear legitimate and they appear legitimate but are in nature malicious. I will give an example of each, I think, in the end. The second has to do with phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody calling you, pretending to be somebody else and asking you for something, a transaction, credentials, depends on, or more information, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Depends. And the third one has to do with impersonation, someone showing up, pretending to be someone they are not, so that they can get their way in your home or in your company or in certain offices. Examples.
I didn't know that one.
Yes, me neither.
That's very scary.
That's because you don't get to recognize it when it happens.
Wow.
Sorry.
You kill me now. I need more coffee.
I don't think you will trust anybody after this podcast ever again. No, I'm kidding.
No, of course not. It's very interesting.
Where
So let me give the examples.
Yes, please. Eager to learn.
I don't want to give anybody nightmares after this podcast. And we still have to be kind and nice to people. There is still a lot of good people out there, but there are some nasty ones. Very typical phishing scheme is when you pretend, for example, to be Amazon and tell the user that's receiving this email that there are some problems with your account. You need to log in now and update your payment information.
Yes.
And then they lead you to a website that looks identical to your Amazon page, and you type in all of your credentials to update your payment information, and they steal them because the page is malicious. Very typical. The other one with the emails is when somebody contacts you, for example, saying that they are your CEO or your boss or an executive, and they ask you to do something or to disclose some information. And just because the email address looks similar, you will not double check on whether it is the real one. You will just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you have gone through information awareness and social engineering training and you know how to recognize the malicious attempts. Super typical example with the phishing calls, the phone call social engineering schemes, is when somebody calls, for example, you, and they say that they are an IT guy, someone working in the IT support, and they need to update some systems, and for that they only need your password and username only to run a quick update to some platform that you use. This is a very, very old story that keeps repeating itself, but it keeps working.
Yeah.
But then I have supposedly, we here and executives and managers, we all get this. We read sometimes the cases you mentioned now. Maybe we have kind of heard about those.
Mm-hmm.
But you mentioned this still happens, which means we don't learn. Well, there are three options. One, we don't learn. Two, we're stupid. And
or
the
they
third
get
one is
smarter.
they are getting smarter.
I think sometimes also we are in a hurry and we fail checking out the.
Yeah. It's also probably the context in which it happens.
Yes.
Yes. So like we said in the beginning, they do take account on how psychology works, how our brain works. So they know that on Friday afternoon, you probably really want to go home and end the day. So, and you're probably tired. So is it really a priority in your head to check every detail on an email? Especially if you're stressed out at that time. And they can find out whether your department is in a stressful situation through public information.
That's interesting.
So it's a combination of factors. And they then again think that it's also a numbers game. If you recognize it, maybe your coworker won't, so they will send it to a few people.
That's why, during the worst period of COVID, when everyone was really bananas. I mean, we were very scared.
The perfect moment.
It was the perfect moment. Yeah. And also, one question, Christina, on holidays or at Christmas time, when we are really thinking of the family or whatever else, that also
and the food.
Prime time.
Prime time, okay.
Yes.
So now you all know.
Yes.
Take care in the upcoming Christmas period.
Now you know.
Okay, good to know.
But I'm also very curious about the impersonating one, because we didn't know about it. Can you give us some example?
Carla, you look like a hacker.
Carla?
Yeah,
Who are you really?
Yeah, because sweet, nice voice, always calm, reading minds.
That's how it works.
I think so.
Sure.
What do you think, Antoine? Yes.
What?
Antoine is there helping us with
yes.
a good sound and everything.
He said yes. You cannot see it, but he agrees.
Yes.
He agrees with my statement. Okay, Carla?
Okay. Should I leave the room?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm a
We love some hackers.
You have
I'm learning.
So it depends. You can have someone that is absolutely beyond suspicion, like Carla.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you, Carla?
I'm nice.
I'm nice. Can I just enter this office? I just need one document and I will be gone.
But that's the way it happens.
Not only. It depends. You can have a man showing up that looks pretty big and muscular, but is the technician. And maybe you weren't informed, but they tell you that your boss has requested to do a checkup on the water sprinklers, for example, for the fire alarms, and he is supposed to go in the offices and check on them. So he will have the uniform, he will have the dossier that he needs to have, he will have the checklist, he will show you a business card that is fake, it's absolutely fake, but it looks real, and they will tell you, who do I need to go through? This has been scheduled. I need to check the sprinklers now. And you might be busy in the middle of something, you might not double check it, it depends. It's a good idea if you check it actually. But in many cases, these people have been able to go into offices, check the sprinklers, but then also check a few documents, then maybe check some computers, maybe steal a couple of devices or copy some data from those devices. Okay. And then if, on the other hand, you suspect that they shouldn't be there and you say, I'm calling your boss now, they will give you the business card. You will call the number on the business card, supposedly the boss's now, for the boss to show up, and that's going to be another social engineer telling you, yes, we are supposed to do this now, and in fact this person needs to be back in 1 hour and be done with the job.
So
adding the component, of course.
Oh, wow. But I have a follow-up question, because especially for this type of scheme, it's like so much work. Is it worth it to go through all this trouble of creating cards and dress up like
not that effort? Yeah, it's absolutely worth it. In fact, it's worth it more than having to do the technical equivalent. So having to identify what systems your target is using, how to hack them, what security technology they have in place. This takes a lot more work.
Okay.
And in fact, social engineering is the low-cost alternative, and it's also the low-risk alternative, but high reward.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why it's widely used.
Yes.
So, but as much as companies are affected, I think people are affected too. I mean, individuals like you and I and Carla and Antoine. Would you have any handy advice, like quick one, but pretty effective, or the ones that has worked for you that you can give to us all?
So the lay people, the everyday person, your mom, your dad, your grandma, and
Us.
siblings, us, you, me. Generally, it's a very good recommendation to use multi-factor authentication wherever possible, because you add a layer of difficulty. Multi-factor authentication, especially on applications in which you use your credit cards in.
Okay.
Then if you receive emails or SMSs or social media messages telling you that you need to check this or do that, generally, do not click on the links.
Okay. But that's a question I guess
I have an alternative
we
for
all
that.
have. Sorry.
I have an alternative solution for that.
Okay.
Go on, say it. Say
No.
Say
It's
it.
because you mentioned something that lately I'm getting promise every day on my Hotmail email.
Me too.
Weird messages that I don't even open. But once I opened it because don't know, I opened it. And I didn't click on the link. Still, by opening the email, I am in danger, or I need to click?
It depends. Usually, however, in most of the cases, you need to click the link.
Okay.
In very few cases, and again, this takes a different type of technology that not every hacker has because it's a bit more expensive. There could be a problem to just click on a message, for example. But these cases are more rare, and they take more sophisticated technology on the back end.
Okay, good to know.
Well,
I'm saved.
Yeah, I see
For
some
now.
sweat. What's
So Carla, go for the next one. You still had some.
Yeah,
You wanted to add something. Yes.
I wanted to add on the don't click the link comment. That, for example, if you get an email from your bank stating that you need to update information or that you have a security issue and stuff, you don't have to go through the link. You can just open up your laptop, your computer, whatever, your browser, any browser, and just type your bank's link directly and go check with your account independently from that email.
Okay.
Same with Amazon emails. Just go to your Amazon account independently from that email and that link.
Yes,
Thanks
that's a
for that.
very
because
good
I
tip.
just got an email from Spain saying you have to update your. But I hope that was the right one.
Yeah, so it could be. Go straight to your account from a separate window
Okay.
and
Okay, good to know.
update it.
But normally, at least for me, I noticed that most of those emails that you get in Hotmail, you can see, for instance, the email address, and you see that
That's
it's
weird.
clearly
It's
not
weird, yes.
official.
Yeah.
Or there is a spelling mistake. Like, these are basic things, but I think this is also a way to spot.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely, and it's very good that you bring it up because many attackers don't do the effort of making it look too convincing. So surely grammar mistakes are a big tell. The weird email addresses are also a big tell. The fact that they ask my goodness. 2 psychological pressure points are the time limits. You only have 48 hours, and if you don't update or don't take this action within 48 hours, everything will be wiped out.
The urgency.
The urgency.
Okay,
Yes.
sense of urgency.
They
And
do
the
a lot
element
of
of fear.
for phone calls. Exactly, yes. I think this is the biggest, like your bank account has been compromised,
Yeah.
for instance.
Yeah.
But for instance, in the case of posing as someone else, I think this is much harder to spot. No?
It is because you come across a certain social pressure at that point to question someone's presence. And nobody wants to be in this position because the social engineer, on the other hand, will make you feel bad for asking. But if you have certain processes in place, you can escape that by saying, I'm really sorry, we have this, it's policy, I trust you, I trust that you're here for what you say, but we have to double check independently from what you give us as information.
Okay.
But it comes down again to the sensitization of your organization. Or on the other hand, because this has happened to a few older people that I know, if someone knocks on your door and say, we are here to check the electricity or whatever, you don't necessarily have to let them in. you can say, give me 1 second, I will call to verify this, and that's perfectly okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's
usually a lot of electricity companies notify in advance. So
Absolutely, that's right.
That's definitely true.
Can I give you the sixth one?
Because
I'm nice.
6?
Yes, because I merged both because they're very, very connected. So you
okay.
can,
Well, but I'm lost, sorry. I was going to ask because I think Christina didn't mention what about organizations, how to prepare them and their people to be on the lookout for these kind of situations.
Yeah, very good. And basically that's what we work on as well. The most exploited factor is ignorance. People not knowing how to recognize an attack, what the red flags are, and then not knowing how to respond if they do recognize an attack, because you are being put in an uncomfortable situation by default.
Yes.
So I feel that training is very, very important. Starting to and promoting within the organization a security mindset, because some people will view this as burden and extra work, while in reality they are directly affected from an attack. So yeah, it takes a bit extra work, a few extra steps to keep to maintain a secure environment. But if you get breached, if something happens to you, you are going to be in trouble as a person too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think imagine that you are the person responsible for a breach in an organization that also
or imagine
is heavy for you.
having all of your work stolen, the things you put your own sweat on.
But you mentioned something interesting, Christina, because you said it's training, but also the company should have the channels, for instance, to if I notice something, they should be handy, quick to react channels so I can inform that this is happening. I guess sometimes people don't know what to do.
Yes,
True.
And that's exactly what happens. People don't know what to do. They say, okay, what if I feel very strange about the situation, I'm uncomfortable, but what if they are telling the truth? Then I am looking like a very bad person all of a sudden. And none of us wants to be a bad person. And that's why there are usually these default getaway phrases like, I really want to help you, but I'm not allowed. Put the blame on someone else. We are not supposed to disclose this information. You can definitely get in, but first it's policy. We have to check. And sometimes just showing this little suspicion, this polite suspicion, will deter attackers, because don't forget, they also don't want to be caught.
Exactly.
Especially if they show up in person, they put themselves at risk.
Yes.
Big risk.
They have to be really good actors.
They are. That's part of the job.
Yes.
But they don't want to get arrested. So you have the upper hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So we as individuals and organizations need to be smarter.
So people in the police, in the acting industry, don't take that as a potential job.
Yes.
Just thought now.
Yes.
Maybe it's another way to find a job.
It takes a certain level of ethics or lack thereof.
Or lack of ethics.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely. So thanks, Carla, for denying my proposition of asking because that was the one I absolutely skipped. Sorry about that. So shall I move to the real one?
Yes.
Really? Okay. So, offensive security versus defensive security. What's the difference? And in this one, I am really absolutely... I know the very, very basics of this, so I would love to hear that one.
Yeah, it is good reason why I'm a guest. Okay, they both have the same goal, security, but they have different approaches. So if we talk about defensive security, we talk about preparing your organization, doing trainings, and again, I do both of them. I might come in and train somebody or a team how to spot attacks, how to deter them, but this is like the theory. Or we might run exercises or simulations, attack simulations. The attack simulations look like real attacks. You are impersonating an attack either through emails, through the phone, through their physical presence, or a combination of the three. And you pretend that you are the attacker and you act like the attacker. and you try to either elicit information or get them to disclose credentials, whatever a normal attacker would do. But the thing is that it is an offensive act. You try to do what a social engineer would do in a malicious way, but you do it for defensive purposes, and you do it, it's like a vaccine. Doesn't feel good at the time, but it helps them realize what their weaknesses are and how an attack would look like and get the experience of it.
Okay. That's
to
clear.
Then also develop the responses and see what worked and what didn't.
Okay.
I hope that was explained.
Yes, absolutely.
Were you there? I think you were a bit distracted.
No,
please.
no, it's because... No, I'm sorry.
It's so much going on in the world.
No, exactly. No,
what a mess.
I'm sorry. No, I got it. Then I will tell you why.
Shall we test, Luis? What
Okay,
did you
yes.
get?
So tell us, Luis.
What did you
So
understand?
offensive security, it's about all the systems and machines and technology put in place. And defensive security, it's about the training and the policy. And oh my God, I just messed it up.
Did you?
You know what? This is what most people end up thinking. It was a matter of love, no?
It was a matter of work. Someone is... yeah, sorry.
Okay, let's go to the next question then.
I
put you on the spot. Sorry,
I think
Luis.
we mainly want the listeners to get it, and if they have understood it, we are happy.
Yes,
Right, Carla?
that's a very good point. We don't care about Luis.
Luis, if something happens to you, don't contact
No, I'm sorry.
me.
I'm really sorry. This is something I uncommonly do, but there are many things going on the Cybersecurity Week.
That's true. But the good news is that you can re-listen to the podcast, Luis. So
That's why.
if something...
That's
There
why I
you
did
go.
it. Because I
Exactly.
knew.
Okay, so let's talk about how Europe is doing in terms of general cyber awareness and comparison to other countries. I don't know, for instance, US.
China.
Yes. Although Europe, now I realize, because I say Europe in comparison to other countries, but Europe is not a country.
Yeah, it's a set of countries
Yes.
we can see.
What a geopolitical mistake.
I know, but
and the USA is a number of states, but we still refer to them as Europe and USA, and we compare them as groups.
Yes,
Exactly.
that's true.
Yeah, I believe that the USA has truly understood that social engineering is a separate cybersecurity problem, so it's not included in information security in the same way you would teach someone to use strong passwords, but it's a little bit more elaborate, and it keeps becoming more and more sophisticated as we go on in life and as they develop as attackers. We don't have Nigerian princes anymore, but we have a lot more.
Yes.
Okay, we still have those as well, but we also have
Yes.
their more elaborate versions. So the US has caught up. They use social engineering awareness training separately from information security awareness training, or they generally spend more time on it. There are service providers specifically dedicated to this topic, and I am also specifically dedicated to this topic. But I also noticed that in Europe, they want to blend social engineering in with the rest of the awareness training and to use the same mentality, while the mentality is a bit different.
I've noticed that. You have a point there. Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah, here, there. Yeah.
So you might have 1 hour of training per year. Some companies do that, dedicated to developing better security habits, and that's great, but social engineering becomes a small part of it.
Okay. Just thinking of politics. So do you think for these gigantic campaigns running in the United States, they may have like an army of people protecting the candidates' campaigns from attackers, because they must be targeted every single day, I think. Or not.
So a basic message through social engineering awareness is that it's everybody's responsibility to secure what they have access to and what they work on. You have certain tasks in your day-to-day, but part of your job is also to protect those. You cannot have a dedicated department only on social engineering, because it doesn't target. They don't target that specific department. They will target whoever feels like the easiest one to compromise. So every person needs to be aware of it. And that's why in the industry we often call the users the human firewall.
Uh-huh.
So they have the firewalls on their devices, but they also need to have them in their minds when a campaign, an attack that targets them comes along.
That makes total sense.
Yes, that makes total sense. I guess at some points your pets also should be part of a cybersecurity game. They are. I don't know. And I have a last question, if I can.
Yes, of course.
And this is, I think it's a little bit tangential, not unrelated, but not necessarily social engineering. But you mentioned during our preparation interview open source intelligence, and what is that?
It is very related to social engineering, but not only. It's a bit broader. Open source intelligence refers to information and intelligence that you gather through publicly available resources. These are the press, news outlets, your social media, your company website, other company websites, anything that is public, anything that is on the internet, anything that is out there in print format or any format but is public information. And what attackers do, and especially social engineers, is that before they target you or your organization, they will do some research. They will not just show up and be like, hey, I suspected that you would be busy right now, so maybe you wouldn't be able to filter me out that well. No, they do pretty thorough research. They know who they target. They know why they target them. And they know what to do with them because of this research. For example, if somebody wants to target a high-value executive, they will go through everything that is public about them to find one weakness. Do they have a weakness for poker? They will infiltrate those circles. Do they have a weakness for women? They might send a woman around to seduce, but then to also steal whatever they can get from that space.
Wow.
They will profile, look for that one gap and exploit it. It's very, very important. And this is also part of our work. We do this for high-value individuals, but also for companies to look into what is publicly available about them and spot these vulnerabilities. Also with companies, you might find out specific technologies that they use, but also the people involved in these technologies. This is information that are immediately being used in attacks and very easily.
Yes. So may I think of how easy target Kim Kardashian can be?
But Kim Kardashian also has some layers of protection that she's using. I haven't looked into Kim Kardashian, to be honest.
Voila. You know, I just...
Good example.
No, because I thought how public she is. And, and I thought maybe how much we know through open source intelligence about her.
Okay, I will share a fun story that was in the news. One of the celebrities, one Chinese celebrity was found by a stalker. In her home address. They found her home address, although she was trying really hard to hide it, because in one selfie that she posted on the internet, her eyeball was reflecting the train station across her house. Or a bus station, something like that. So that stalker zoomed in the picture on her eyeball, saw the name of the bus station, and he then started walking around this area, spotted the name on the doorbell, and then he was waiting for her outside, and he attacked her. Open source information.
Wow.
You were saying
that's a very good example. Yes, just the picture.
It was a shocking one.
It's very shocking. So, Carla, less Instagram stories.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
I mean, there are easier ways than focusing on your eyeballs.
Yeah.
Like you look at the surrounding environment. You will look into the routines of that individual, the streets they go through, what they post, and you will map out the areas. It's very easy.
But that's why Instagram accounts can be private, unless if you are a celebrity. And you have to be careful with
or a celebrity
who you let in.
Like us. Celebrities to be like us.
Yes.
Could be.
Well, my account is private and I
Smart
don't let
lady.
anyone.
Smart lady.
Same for LinkedIn.
And Antoine, that is very active on social media.
He's
I'm being
smiling.
ironic now. Well, Christina, I really appreciate your time.
It was very interesting.
Very interesting. This is a topic that interests us all, every single individual in this world. I think it should be concerned about this. And actually, it was very nice, easy to understand explanations, the ones you have given us. So thanks a lot.
It was a pleasure.
And well, good luck, because I know you have a workshop to give, and tomorrow a presentation also during the cybersecurity, the main day of the cybersecurity and privacy days here. So all the best.
Thank you.
And
thank you for joining us.
yes,
it was really nice to meet you too.
Yes, very nice. Really.
You're very good hosts.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. So this is Tech Talk. Technology made simple.
Over a cup of coffee.
Because
literally.
if I don't say that part, Carla looks at me and says, what shall I say now?
I really get, my brain is completely made up.
Okay, let's do it again. This is Tech Talk, technology made simple.
Over a cup of coffee. Literally.
Or shipuro. No, the shipuro is not like,
that's not necessarily a good idea.
I don't think so.
I know, but it's a delicious Greek drink.
But you said something about a bottle of Tsipuro you once had?
By the way, do you know how many degrees the chipuro has? It's like 40? It's very
I have no
strong.
idea. I don't drink this.
Okay.
It's really heavy, you know?
Yeah, it's very heavy. But I think it's made of grapes. Or
I think it resembles grappa.
yeah, grappa. It's like a grappa, yeah, let's say.
Oh, no, I will have all the Greeks on my case.
Or pisco.
I
Or
shouldn't
something
have
like
said
that.
It's
Well,
Tsipuro.
Thanks a lot and have a
Thank
very
you.
good day. Ciao.
And that's all for today. This is Tech Talk, technology made simple over a cup of coffee. Thank you for listening, and until the next episode.